All right. Test, test,
Test.
test, test. Well, one thing that people definitely watched was the Super Bowl. I saw that it was the highest televised event ever. So it's the most watched telecast, and I think I heard that
I get
beyond
it.
so that
Hold on.
123 million viewers, Dean. I think the moon landing was the highest viewed event.
Yep.
But this was, of course, a telecast event, so it's the highest most watched. That's funny. Most watched telecast in U.S. history. Pretty amazing stuff. So it's 100.
I did have it. I did have the yeah, but my damn tablet is I have to log into something and I can't figure it out.
That's okay. The previous record last year, Super Bowl.
Yep. I saw that.
115.1 million. And this one, you had the extra viewers. Now, obviously, there's other factors as well. Several factors. You had the Usher halftime show. Certainly, you had the Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers. So Kansas City's been there a few times. Obviously, the Taylor Swift dynamic with dating Travis Kelce. So I'm sure some folks tuned in simply to catch a glimpse of Taylor Swift. It was a good game. A close
what was it?
Game.
Super Bowl 49 or what was it?
50. This was 58. Was last year, or this one? Excuse me. This one was 58. Yes. Yeah. So several factors made people tune in. So that's what we're talking about here next. So
it was the highest rated thing ever on television.
Yeah, and that's something. It's. So, did you watch it? What are some of your favorite things? I mean, did you enjoy the game itself?
I enjoyed the game more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I was expecting a dud or kind of boring. First half was a little.
It was boring. The first half,
a little boring, but the second half picked
defensive
up.
struggle. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Second half picked up. I enjoyed it. I didn't have a dog in the fight, so I didn't give a shit who won. I liked that the Chiefs won for the simple fact that all these right-wing MAGA people's heads fucking exploded with conspiracy theories of the deep state Taylor Swift agenda type shit that we've talked about in past episodes. But I enjoyed the commercials. As always, as everybody does, this is anything new. I did keep a list, compiled a list of some of my favorites and some of the better ones that, you had stuff from, if you don't mind, let me grab my glasses for this because, old. First of all, let's talk about Deadpool 3. It was the first commercial to start off the Super Bowl. And so Deadpool 3 coming in July.
Was it the highest viewed trailer of any trailer ever within a 24-hour period, I believe?
Something like that, I believe so.
That broke a record as well. Absolutely. Yep. So that looks
Are you
phenomenal.
Excited about it?
Oh, my God. I was excited already, and then after watching now the TV just had the teaser trailer, but watching the actual trailer.
Yep, I went and watched it immediately. Yeah. Like Megan's down on the floor with Nora playing around, and I'm listening to and I'm pulled it up on my phone. She goes, "Didn't we just watch that?" I'm like, "No, it's the full fucking thing." So yeah, Deadpool 3, and then you got new Planet of the Apes movie coming up.
Mm-hmm.
That looks cool.
Yes,
I like the continuation of all that.
Yep.
And then you have some of the. Well, let's go to. Let me personally say FanDuel. In the beginning of the before the Super Bowl started, you had the FanDuel Gronk kick. Mm-hmm. You could wager for free, and then if you bet correctly this year, missed or got it, you get X amount of credits to bet later. Well, I thought he's a fucking athlete. There's no way with all this practice he can miss 2 years in a row. So I bet that he'd kick it right through the fucking uprights, and
Nope.
I was wrong. So, all right. So Brian, we have some of these other. Some of the other better ones. You have Mountain Dew with Aubrey Plaza and Nick Offerman, where she's kind of playing her Aubrey Plaza character about Mountain. Yeah, and then Nick Offerman is flying. I think he was on a dragon next to her. That was good to see them together. I mean, anytime
Ron Swanson mustache again.
Yeah,
it was good.
It was fantastic. Another one that I loved, me being a professional wrestling fan, the Kawasaki Ridge ad. It had
mullets.
Mullets. It had the bear had the mullet, but then at the end you had Stone Cold Steve Austin had the mullet. I enjoyed that one. Being a Ted Lasso fan, I enjoyed the Mick Ultra one with Messi, Jason Sudeikis, and Dan Marino. That was fun.
Yep.
I'm not. Forgive me. Out of country listeners, but I'm not the biggest soccer fan, so I didn't know. My son had to tell me who Messi was. I'm like, is that guy famous? He goes, Dad, that's Messi. I'm like, oh, he looks clean. And then I got the look when I make a dad joke. The one that's CeraVe, the face cream with Michael Cera, where he was kind of doing like he invented it because the name CeraVe. That was fun. And if I'm getting boring on this, let me know, Brian. Because I took meticulous notes. I had my notebook, and then if I needed to go do something, grab a drink or whatever, I waited till the game was on. I was making notes. For
a lot of people do that, I'm sure. How many have you mentioned so far?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
Yeah, well, give me your top 10.
All right. All right. So the Christopher Walken BMW one. I'm going to rattle these off real quick, and then you stop me if you want to talk about any. You have the BMW Christopher Walken.
I like that.
His thing. That was fun.
Yeah, that was good. I have to imagine, that he's probably one of the most imitated celebrities out there.
It's good to see that he has a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
And then, speaking of sense of humor, you have the State Farm, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I love that. That might have been my overall favorite. I thought.
And then at the end, with Danny DeVito being there, fantastic.
Yeah, I really like that. Again, that's another one. Or Arnold is not afraid to make fun of his own accent and everything. So I really enjoyed that one. Yeah.
Then you have the Homes.com. You mentioned you're a fan of Schitt's Creek, where you had Dan Levy and Jeff Goldblum. That was fun.
Yep.
The Teen Mobile auditions. You have Dunkin' Donuts, the Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Jennifer Lopez. That was good. I guess there's like a 4-minute commercial like you could watch online. It's like 4 minutes long. United Airlines with Kyle Chandler giving the Cleveland Browns speech about waiting. You don't have to wait till next year, book your flight, be that much of a fan that that you're going to be, that you're Browns fans, you're going to be in the Super Bowl. And then at the end they say something about reality or you can cancel at the last minute type thing. As a Browns fan, it sucks, but it was funny. Then you have the more serious one. You have the NFL International Africa spot. Yeah. I like the Paramount Patrick Stewart where they ripped off his clothes and he was in the old timey football thing. Uniform.
Arnold, the football. Yeah, the football head. Yeah. Arnold, yeah.
I'm not throwing a kid. I'll throw the kid. Verizon with Beyonce. She's always fantastic in everything she does.
That's right.
Bud Light's Genie with Peyton Manning and Post Malone was a good spot.
Yeah, that was cute. Yep.
Drumstick. Who fucking does a drumstick thing? But I giggled like an idiot for Dr. Umstick. It's just funny. And Eric Andre being the sick passenger. And then the last one I'm going to mention, Doritos, Grannies. Not a great spot, but I cannot not mention Jenna Ortega. So
Yeah, that's right.
anytime she gets to be on my screen, I'm a happy pup. So that's the quick list that I compiled for the Super Bowl commercials.
Those are all good ones. And one, I don't know if you mentioned or not, but I like seeing the Clydesdales again on the Budweiser.
Yeah, that was nice.
The old school delivery with the dog, and I mean it's ridiculous. It harkens back to those crazy over the top Budweiser. They're delivering the beer in the snow and the wagon to get to the bar. It's just like that would never happen in 1,000 years, but that's okay. But you know, you got to get the drunks their keg is up there in the snowstorm at the bar. They can't just go home or have a different type of beer or something like that. You know, which
I mean, you say it's crazy, but that's actually kind of how I got to do my job sometimes.
That's right.
I got to get some horses and
can't get up there to Parma. We got to get the wagon, get the Ignite horses out of the barn there.
I follow a random golden retriever running down the street, assuming he knows where I'm going.
That's right. Yeah. Yep. I think Seth has the horses, 2-3 horses on his property or something like that. I think.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Takes care of them.
Yep. No, I think all the commercials you touched on, I think it was definitely a lot of my favorites there as well. I don't think there was anything else that. Mayo the Cat was kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know. I think the other ones that you touched on too were some of my favorites. The Worth Remembering was kind of funny. Was like people kind of forgot, Uber Eats. It's like something that they forgot like 10 years of their life because maybe they were so hungry or something like that. And you had, Jennifer Aniston and David Schwimmer. It's like she didn't remember working with him or something like that. So
that was fun.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So. Yeah, but overall, I thought that I don't know. I mean, it's hard to remember year to year the commercials, but I thought there were more memorable ones this year than last year or two. I think, if I remember correctly.
For me, it's hard to say because I've never meticulously done what I did this year, and I think writing them down, studying almost, it made me remember them. If I didn't have this, I remember last year we talked about it, and you guys would bring up one and be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one."
Yeah.
But I don't know which one for me would have stuck out the most if I hadn't done this. So it's kind of unfair to my brain at this point.
No, that's good. The Pringles one was kind of funny with Chris Pratt with a mustache and everything.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Anyway, all right. So what did you think of the halftime show, Usher?
I was putting kids to bed halfway into it, so I wrote down here, halftime show, Usher and Alicia Keys. Come to find out later that more people joined him.
Yes,
I didn't catch that second part, but what I did see of it, just fine. I mean, he's a great performer, great singer. Alicia Keys has got an amazing voice, always has. Mm-hmm. It was a good show. I didn't find anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I can't say it was necessarily nothing against them. It's just not the type of music I normally seek out. But
sure,
I tell you what, man, it was a well-produced show, and that fucking guy, he was a motherfucking performer, man. I mean,
he went to work.
I think it sounded like he was actually singing several quick changes, and just seamless. That camera was following him around, and he was just seamlessly singing and moving and fucking roller skating. I mean, God. Yeah. So
good work.
It definitely did work. Very, very good performance. So I thought it was a lot of fun. And it's certainly harkened back to some of the old school songs as well. So I thought it was good. And they already mentioned the game itself was great. It's only the second Super Bowl that went to overtime ever.
It was the 7th longest game in NFL history.
Really? How about okay. It just set up perfectly. You had the perfect opportunity at the end of the game in overtime where Patrick Mahomes, he had an opportunity to drive the team for a championship winning drive and solidify himself as one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks ever. And that's exactly what happened. Took him right down the field. So now he has cemented himself as one of the all-time greats. 3 Super Bowls. 3 MVPs.
I don't know if you could give it all to him. because
one of the greatest. I didn't say the greatest.
no. But I'm just saying, is like his performance. You can't put it all on him, Brian. There was a quick shot of Taylor Swift. She did this twitching of her nose thing, and I heard some jingling happening.
That's right.
And before you know it,
Yep.
he's going down the field.
Yep.
Like a boss.
That's right. That's right. She had a fucking, I think, Donald Trump voodoo doll or something like that. Yep. And next thing you know, championship winning drive. That's it. Yeah.
Sometimes that's the way life hits you.
That's right. That's right. So on that note, all right. So obviously we watched the game. A lot of people watched the game.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the Super Bowl still so popular? Why do you think it's something that people just come together and watch? I mean, what about it? What makes it special? Do you watch it every year? Why do you watch it every year? Why do you think other people watch it every year? This is our Ask an Idiot question of the week now. So go ahead.
I think honestly, it's a community thing, especially now. Everything's gone to streaming. Everything goes to, your individual taste that you're able to watch when you want what you want. Appointment television essentially is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes. Right.
With that, I think if you go once a year and go, everybody, you do your own thing throughout the year, but this time, this date, this is the time we're all going to get back together.
That's right.
One time a year.
Yep.
There's nothing else going on. Like it's not hell. It could have been back in the day, the ball dropping, but now people are doing their own thing. You're drunk doing this. You're off doing that. There's multiple ball droppings. There's not multiple Super Bowls happening.
Nope.
This is America's appointment. No, this is the world's appointment television. I was watching a thing where they were showing parties in all sorts of countries watching the Super Bowl. So this gives us the nostalgia. This harkens back to a time when we did all sit down and watch the fucking moon landing. Maybe that's a little dramatic, but you get the point.
Watch the MASH finale, for example.
Right. Everybody collectively held hands and just kind of squeezed a little bit. And when Hawkeye put his thumb up and had that chopper raised in the air, and you heard the last theme song, and BJ had written goodbye in rocks, so Hawkeye could see it. We don't have that anymore,
right?
Except for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. No, you're right. You think about all the other.
My opinion.
That's a very good point. You're right. All the other major sporting events, all the championships, they're a series.
Yeah, they're long. They're days. And then a couple days in between them, and
unless there's a game seven.
Sure.
Like, somebody's going to win this game tonight. If you're an avid baseball or basketball fan or something like that, you probably tune in and see, okay, this someone's going to walk out of here with a championship. You're right. There's no series. It's one game.
And even in that, even in Game 7, Brian, you don't have the spectacle.
Right. That's right.
You don't have the millions of dollars per commercial that people pay to get all of us to watch. You don't have the giant entertainment concert that the Super Bowl has. It's just everything has come together and been produced, and they've spent 58 years perfecting it.
Yes.
And they have.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And of course, it's people will watch the game that's not necessarily a football fan for other reasons. There's plenty of people that watch that game just for the commercials. There's plenty of people that watch the game just to see Usher. There's plenty of people that watch the game to catch a glimpse of Taylor Swift. Some people just went to a party. Their friends are having a party. It's a chic, it's a fun thing to do. They're not really a football fan, but everybody's bringing stuff over.
Or they bet on it. They get a little square.
Sure. That's right. That's right. Well, they bet now, of course, with all the apps and everything else, and they're tuning in for that reason or what have you. So, a lot of factors But you're right. Yep. Go ahead.
I only tuned in hopes to get a glimpse of Jamie Farr, but alas, I didn't get to see him.
Wasn't there again. Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yep. That was good. Like I said, it's a time to set aside and just, like we did. It's look forward to just sitting down and hanging out with friends. I don't like to go out for that game. I like to go to someone's house, sit down, bring food over, relax, chill out, and for like 3 hours, that's what everybody's focused on. Everything else kind of goes aside for a minute, and you're just relaxing, enjoying the game, and you see something that you could talk about and everything else. So
this is the first year for us. We sat with the kids, just the four of us.
That's nice.
Meg and I and the two kids, and the kids watched, and we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yep.
I didn't have a drink of beer or anything. I think I had a cup of coffee while watching.
That's great. No, that's wonderful. That's great.
It was nice.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think it's...
Kids got hammered, though.
Nora serving the drinks again. Yeah, I don't know.
She's a mean drunk.
Yeah.
She beat my ass. Sucker punch.
I don't see any other event. Like you said, it's the appointment television for, I think you said the best, for the world. I don't know that anything anytime soon is going to unseat it. It's, again, like you said, with the world and streaming, no one watches live television anymore, barely for anything.
I wish I could pull that thing up, but I had the stats. It was like 150, we'll just say like 158 million, whatever. 3 million of it was from streaming. Paramount Plus was streaming it live, and somebody else was streaming it live. Paramount Plus had the bigger rating in the streaming, but that's 8 million people streaming. Any network show would love to have 8 million. Would die.
Oh my God.
Die to have just 8 million people. And that was just from fucking streaming.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And all of you gotta also think about it this way, Brian, it's not eyeballs. It's not just eyeballs on the product. That was 158 million TVs.
Right.
And you have multiple people sitting at those TVs. You have multiple people sitting at the bar. So again, that calculation of how many people watched was televisions, was screens watched, not the amount of people watching them. Incredible.
That's right. That's
what I've been saying this whole time. It is incredible. Fucking incredible.
Oh, we were just talking about your sex tape, Nick.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I've been getting a lot of positive feedback on that, so I appreciate
a lot of people watched that. We did not know a donkey could. Brian, what were you going to say?
Can really give her.
Yes, that's right.
You got to put them just that right way.
Well, almost as equally exciting as the Usher performance, the great Millennial Nick has joined this episode. Yes,
wow.
Right.
When I came in late last week, it was like you guys just blew me off and said, "Oh, let us finish talking." While he gets the great millennial.
Great.
Wow.
Well, maybe someday, if you could be great, then you could get that kind of welcome as well.
There you go. Well, Nick, we're talking about the Super Bowl. We're talking about the Super Bowl here. So we're finishing up our Ask You. So, what is it about? Did you watch the game, and what is appealing to you, and why do you think it's must-see TV?
I assume one of you gentlemen have already kind of discovered this or talked about this angle, but it's a cultural thing, right? Like it is a societal. It's one of the few things we still have. What with streaming and everything, it's one of the few live events that you tune in and watch. And it's not only the game in and of itself. It's the halftime show. It's the commercials. To me, that's probably the biggest one. I wasn't particularly looking super forward to this year's Super Bowl matchup, although both teams were very good and it was an incredible game, especially defensively speaking. But it's still, I make a point if I'm going to get up to do anything, to get a drink or to go run and do something, I wait till the game's in progress. I don't do it when the commercials are on because I want to see the commercials. And essentially, that's what everybody's going to be talking about the next day. So commercials are like the thing. So
I think motherfucker would bring a new take to the show, but no.
I would also like to ask you, gentlemen, if you were aware of how the Super Bowl halftime show came to be. Are either of you aware the story?
Nope.
So the Super Bowl halftime
yes.
show. Okay. Go. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it started in Tijuana at a donkey show. The guy walked in and watched, probably about half of it, and realized something like this really should be done while people were playing football. And
Sure.
And then he called you and asked if you were busy. You said no. So I think that's when you started.
We're gonna take Usher with the ab shirt anyway. Sorry, we already had a backup plan, and we really like the Usher with the ab shirt thing. So we're gonna go do that. The sparkles and the abs.
They really just stole your thunder, really.
They did, yeah, they really did. Cut me deep. Why'd you ask if you weren't gonna go with me? Why'd you even fucking ask?
Assholes.
No, so apparently, I don't know the exact year, but the reason we'll give you a time frame. For many years, the Super Bowl halftime show was not necessarily a big musical act or something like that. Alternative programming would essentially start to put on things during the Super Bowl halftime to draw away ratings, so that while the halftime show was going on, and In Living Color was a big, In Living Color, I think, was one of the main shows that started it, and they would draw attention away from the Super Bowl and have people tune in to them. And the NFL, to combat this, were like, we have to
I remember wrestling had a halftime show once.
Yeah, right. So there was all kinds of, across different major cable networks, they had alternative programming in order to have that time to get people to lure them away from the Super Bowl, and then they go back and watch the second half. So at the time, the NFL's like, no, we need something. We need people's eyes on this game the entire time. So that's where it started with the big Super Bowl halftime shows and things like that, and getting, top name artists, top billed artists and stuff like that for the Super Bowl halftime show. I heard that on another podcast this week, and I thought that was pretty interesting because I was not really aware of that. Like you said, Dean, I do remember when there were other things, like during the Super Bowl, tune into this.
Halftime Heat, it was called.
That was at another on another channel, but it was, I didn't really think about it like that before. And as you notice, as time's gone on, there just is no more of that. People just assume basically Super Bowl Sunday, like, your programming's fucking shot. Like, you're not going to air anything of any worth on Super Bowl Sunday because it's just too much to compete with. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, in short, long story
the pregame
longer,
started at like fucking 10 in the morning.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, it's like I said, it's an all-day affair. But yeah, I think it's just one of those things that, like, it's still a sense of community,
I watched
right? Like
Gilligan's Island marathon up until
kickoff.
I turned it out. Yeah, pretty much about an hour before kickoff. Okay. I watched Gilligan's Island for the day.
Okay, I would say that's a joke, but I believe that you actually did that.
That's 100% true.
But it is it's one of those last few things that we still have, like, culturally, everybody tunes into, everybody talks about the next day. Did you see this commercial? And that's the thing too. It's like, yeah, with so many other events or shows or whatever, you could record it and watch it later, but you're not going to get all the same, commercials and stuff like that. So it's just kind of one of those things you still got to see in real time. Water cooler talk, yeah. Water cooler. That we said. It took me a minute to.
No, but that's the point of what you're talking about. The next day, people are, did you see this? Did you see that? That used to be called water cooler talk because on your break, you'd sit around the water cooler and talk about what you watched or saw the night before.
All right. Just like we are.
I don't know what you're expecting. I was
Brian, I'm so sorry. Has it been this dull from him the entire time? I'm so sorry.
No, not at all. We're water.
Goddamn delight.
We're water cooler talk every Tuesday morning. It's
exactly
several offices globally. Yeah, I'm quite certain.
Did you just see that shit? If you liked what you saw, like and subscribe. Come back. You're gonna wanna.
Ham gravy.